The following podcast is brought to you by Cast Content Media.
Welcome to Dixie
And the King. I'm an Elvis tribute artist, rocking the cradle with a much younger wife.
and we are coming together to figure out this thing called life.
Take this journey with us through our unique and fascinating relationship as we tackle marriage, parenting, and spirituality.
We find ways to live a better life through our experiences and learn from professionals and everyday folks along the way and how to thrive in today's world.
And welcome back to another edition of Dixie and the King. My name is George Gray. My beautiful, wonderful wife, Dixie, is alongside, which is why it's called Dixie and the King. There's both of us in this particular podcast. Sometimes we have guests. Last week, podcast number 13, we had Our Savior Lutheran's Pastor John Knutson there. There we talked about marriage, God, and the church, and how that kind of molds our life and how we direct our family in all different directions. Before we get too deep into today's podcast, we do want to thank Cast Content Media for being the sponsor of our show. We also want to thank YouTube for allowing us to have a wonderful podcast, which people can find us on YouTube by going to Dixie and the King. Where else can people find us?
On our website, dixieandtheking.com, Facebook, we're on Instagram. And you can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms. And if by chance you can't, please let me know and I will fix that.
We're on all of them. It's amazing. Well, you can go to, for those people that have Alexa, which is part of the secret deep state government listening to our conversations.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You can ask Alexa to, hey, Alexa, play Dixie and the King podcast. I think, is that how it works? Have you listened to us on Alexa?
I have,
Okay.
just because I got so excited when I said, Alexa, play Dixie and the King, and there it was. I was like, whoa.
Now, do you have to ask for a particular podcast, or does it
You
just
can say the
randomly?
latest episode, or yes, you can say an episode name or number, and it should pull it up for you.
Okay, so you'll find those podcasts. Like I said, Dixie does a great job with the website dixieandtheking.com, and you can scroll through all our podcasts. And if you're something you particularly want to listen to, you can say, Alexa, play Dixie and the King. Age is just a number, I think, is one of them that we did. So, having said all that,
Yeah,
now,
it's obviously too bright in here for
Yes.
George, so.
the lights are bright, and we feel like we're on Broadway, and we're both stars in our own mind. Actually, no, I'm going to take these things off so that you guys can see my beautiful brown eyes. They're not as
Because he's full of.
That's my mom used to tell me that all the time. I was full of poop. Anyway, so
I can't talk. I have brown eyes too.
so this is podcast number 14, and on this one we thought that we would decided that we'd answer some questions. People do send us questions, and you can do that off of our website, or you can just contact@dixieandtheking.com.
Yep. Yeah. You can send us an email. You can send us a message on Facebook.
Yep, we're also on Facebook. Yep, Messenger on Facebook. So one of the questions was, because of the age difference, we have a blended family. I have 2 adult daughters. She has 2 minors. They're at this particular point in time on this recording, they are 11 and 8. And then, of course, we have a toddler. So we're gonna talk about that, our decision to have a child, and what that looks like for our life. And then we're going to talk about getting back into the dating scene, because for a lot of you folks out there that have kids, you know, it's extremely difficult to make time for each other, which is so important. So,
It is. And so, Pastor John Knutson, he married us. And I remember going through the marriage classes, and we were pretty set in our families. I thought, I had 2 kids, he had 2 kids. I thought I was done having kids. And you go through these marriage classes, and they bring up future children, and I kind of laughed it off. And I remember one night George jokingly said, we should have a baby. And I laughed. I thought that it was the most hilarious thing I'd ever heard.
I say a lot of things for shock value. That's kind of my...
So I assumed that that's what this was, until he said it a few more times, and over the span of a few months, I started to think, wait, maybe he's serious. And so I asked him one night in a more serious way than we had spoke about it before, and he had just said, "Yeah, I think I'm not done, and I think that I would like to try to have a baby." And so
I don't remember that.
we
I just remember it was a dark, drunken night.
it was not a dark.
I just got back
night.
from drinking margaritas at the local cantina. I was drunk with margaritas and chips and salsa. That's all I remember.
And he's full of it. So, yeah, we really did have a serious conversation on what that would look like. You know, the one comment maybe that I get or have gotten, and I don't know if you've gotten any comments, but one thing that I've heard is that fair to the baby because you were 57 when he was born? 2019, 57 when he was born. And so, you know, you just think about, okay, so when Carson's 20, he'll be 77. And you just think about, is that fair to a kid? And we really talked about it. And the one thing that came to my mind was I've lost, unfortunately, several friends at young ages, and their kids have lost parents at very young ages. And the thing that I think about is none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. And so none of us know how long we're going to be around for our kids. And the one thing that I did know is if we had a child together, this kid would grow up in a family full of love, and they would know that their parents, you know, really loved and cared for them, and their sisters would really love them. And so just thinking about that and what it might do for our family, because we do have the blended family, what it has done, I can say, is really brought our kids closer together.
Yeah, I think especially my kids, and I can remember when we did get pregnant, and I guess we should preference this, is that Carson, our son, and he's the only boy, which is kind of cool, but I still love my daughters, and I love her daughters just as much. If it was, you know, if Carson was a little girl, I would love her just as much as I do now. But there is a difference, and that's a total new podcast, let me tell you. But you start thinking about what are my kids going to think, because they're adults, and Morgan and Lauren, and I can remember after the joy of us knowing that we were pregnant, and like I was going to say earlier, we had a miscarriage at about...
It was about 9 weeks, and that was really
that was
a
tough.
hard thing.
That was
for
tough
us to
because
do.
I think we were in the doctor the day before, and everything was good, and they said, "Hey, go in for a ultrasound."
Yeah.
And so within that time period of 24 hours, we lost a child. So that was really difficult. And for all you folks out there that have gone through that, you know, our thoughts and prayers go on to you. But the cool thing is, so now Carson has been conceived. Of course, we don't know the sex at this point in time. The baby's been conceived, and it's time for me to tell my daughters.
And we waited because we lost a baby, we definitely, and I had lost one in between my girls, so unfortunately I had the experience, and something I would definitely like to talk more about at a later date, because I know when I was going through it, I felt very alone, and I felt like I needed to keep it to myself. It was hard to deal with, and I think a lot of women out there feel that way, and I didn't realize how common miscarriages were as I was going through them. So, but the one thing that we had decided to do because of those experiences was wait through the first trimester before we told anybody that I was pregnant. And so as I'm, you know, clinging to every day of, you know, being okay and worrying, going through this process, we did decide...
Praying, a lot of prayer.
A lot of prayer. We decided that it was time to tell the kids, and we wanted his girls to know first. And I was really worried about what they were going to think, because not only did their dad come in and marry this girl not that much older than them, and we were getting along, you know, we got along great and things were going well, but now I'm going to bring a new baby into the mix.
Right. So I decided that I would take my daughters out for lunch, and I had put together cards for both of them. Each one had a poem that I wrote, and it had a picture of Carson's ultrasound on one side and then the poem on the other side. And basically it was tailored to each one of their interests. And what I wanted to convey to them is, even though that there's another child that's coming into their life, that we wanted them to know that he is going to need them and they're going to need him, and that we all share the same blood, and that regardless of what the circumstances are, he has a precious life and he's going to love them unconditionally. And I was asking them just to give him and give us a chance. And I was kind of surprised because I was expecting, I didn't know what to expect. My youngest daughter and I are really close, physically, and I can still hold her and cuddle her, and that's really cool. She's going to hate me for saying this, but Morgan and I, my oldest, and we're close too. So the closeness, but one is, Lauren is still my little girl, and it was funny because as they were reading these things, they both looked at each other, read and said, "I knew it all along," because Dixie's a big drinker.
I am not a big drinker.
She's not a big drinker.
No.
Dixie likes a glass of wine. I don't know, maybe
a couple times a week. Yeah.
3 nights a week at the most. Usually it's just twice, and sometimes it's only once a week. But so she likes a little glass of wine with whatever, and it's just a small glass.
It's okay. You don't have to defend my wine drinking.
So when she knew that she was pregnant, she stopped drinking, which is what I think you should do, because you got to take care of the fetus. And the girl said, "I knew it because Dixie hadn't been drinking her wine as often as she does." So
and over Thanksgiving, everybody else was having a glass of wine, and I chose to have water.
Time. It was a drunken brawl afterwards, and she's the only one sober.
No drunken brawl.
Yes, drunken brawl. But anyway,
we're not that exciting of a family.
So everything's cool. My daughters are excited. And even now, whenever we ask them if they want to watch him, for like when we're doing our podcast, my daughters come over and watch Carson. So, but it's really cool. It's just like what Dixie says. I think he has really cemented and brought the whole clan together, which is kind of cool. And he's just full of love. He's full of mischief, and he's loved by so many in our family that we're just. So that aspect was pretty cool. So now we have this newborn, or right now we have the toddler.
Well, and I just to take a step back. So, we told my girls in a similar way. We gave them a card from their brother with the ultrasound picture, and they were really excited. And but they're younger at the time. But then it came to the point where we needed to tell his parents, and they actually got told first because. Right. It was right after they were in town for his concert at the Civic Center, which is right after Thanksgiving time. So we decided this was something we wanted to tell them in person. I was only like 7 or 8 weeks along at the time, so it was a little early for me, but we certainly didn't want to spring this one over the phone. So we were there, they were there, we met them at their hotel. I think we bought them a bottle of wine and some pacifiers and some little baby things. And I put a tag on the bottle of wine that says, "Save this for me, save this for 9 months for me," or something like that. And his mom's reaction was my very favorite, and we have it recorded, and I will never ever delete it. But she just goes, "Huh."
And it took a while for it to sink in, So we give them this bottle of wine, they unwrap it, and they give them this bottle of wine, and it's got pacifier hanging off of it, and she's, and as she's reading it, and then she finally caught on. I don't know if we can. We could probably put that on here.
Maybe, but I don't know if they would appreciate that. But anyways, everybody that's close to us was really excited. We really didn't get any backlash, I guess.
You can tell it was in the back of their mind, though.
Yeah,
I knew that when you're telling your friends,
"Oh, congratulations!"
They're going,
What were they thinking? Yeah, but like I tell everybody, George is full of energy and full of life, and he is by no means slowing down, and he chases after the kids probably better than I do some days.
I was on the floor with Carson this morning, the kitchen floor, and we were spinning the basketball.
Yeah, so they do fun guy stuff, and
he just turned 20 months.
Yeah, he's going to be 2 July. Yeah,
July. Yeah, and he's getting to put his words together and that kind of thing. But okay, so your kids took it pretty decent.
My kids were
My kids
excited.
took it to dinner. My family or friends.
My youngest we did a little gender reveal just with us and our daughters, and I knew the gender, but nobody else did. And so I got this big black balloon, and they all had a pin, and they popped the balloon, and blue confetti goes everywhere. Everybody is jumping up and down, super excited, except my poor little Holly wanted a baby sister so bad. She comes running to me, bawling her little eyes out, and to this day keeps asking us to try one more time.
She wants a little sister.
No.
But anyway, you know what?
So they were so excited.
I do have that clip.
Yeah.
So we're going to play it for you right now.
Okay, well, everybody has to take a guess first. So, Morgan, what do you think?
Well, I had a dream it was a boy.
Lauren?
Boy.
Grace?
Boy.
Holly?
Girl.
George?
Girl.
You have to take a guess. Okay. All right.
Holly,
Ready?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's awesome! Oh! Oh!
That scared me. That was
You guys got a little brother. Come here, Grace.
I got a little thing.
Right? You got a little brother. Oh! I'm so excited. What's wrong, Holly?
She said it's not
Holly
real.
wanted a sister.
Oh. Well, I tell you what, we'll try one more time for a sister.
I don't think so, but
Come on in the picture.
let's go get in the picture.
Are you still recording?
Yeah.
Come here. It's okay, nothing to cry about. Oh,
You happy?
I'm very happy.
That's
Should we all have a group?
Betty.
Should we have a group hug? I know this is kind of weird. What you guys think? You think it's weird?
With the baby.
Well, we look forward to meeting you, Carson George Gray. Is that right?
Yes, and Holly will come around and she will love you too.
Holly will eventually love you. The whole thing with little Holly just always, she was the only one that wasn't excited. And of course, Grace is jumping all over the place. But
And all of them love him so much. Now, Holly and him are especially close, and I think because she's the youngest.
She seems like the big sister. She, at some times, will come down and he'll be content doing whatever. And she loves him so much, she'll have to come over and smother him with a kiss or pick him up. And of course, then he's not much into that as much. But it's a good relationship that they have. Most definitely, yeah. But no
more.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Because-
Which is tough because she talks about that, knowing that Carson was her last child.
Yeah, it's, all the stages that he's gone through are extra hard. I love the baby stage. I love it, and I know not everybody does.
It's okay.
But I love that infant stage. I love the babies, and so just watching him grow, while it's super exciting, and I love to watch him learn and explore and all of those things, it's hard for me to give up whatever stage he's just come out of.
Although that was all fun and lovey-dovey and stuff, for me, it's like I was ready for him to start throwing baseballs and stuff. So
And I think
as an
most
infant,
dads are...
As an infant, you just kind of hold him like this, and he does nothing but sit there, and you're going... Now,
Which was easier for me.
much easier. Sometimes they move a little bit, but now he's all over the place, and it's just so much fun. He's a lot of fun. Carson is going to be. Carson is going to love the Lord. He's gonna have a loving heart. He's gonna respect women, because we're sometimes when he's getting his diaper changed, he sometimes will kick mommy or hit. Nothing.
Yeah,
It's just out of being manhandled.
Almost two.
Yeah,
almost
two.
It's almost two.
So
I think all the kids do it.
we're both stepping on that as quick as we can. I think that's probably the best thing is you need to take action right away. You need to nip it right when it happens. Don't wait for it to go away. But anyway, just minor little baby stuff. And then I also want him to be a man. I want him to be macho. And I'm not saying walking around big muscles beating people up or that attitude. I just want him to be a man, because I think kids nowadays, the whole cookie cutter, and that's a whole nother podcast, we're trying to slam all these kids, little boys and little girls, into this mold that they all behave the same way and react the same way and have the same emotions. And for me, it doesn't work. Little boys are different, little girls are different, and there's not one that's better or one that's worse. But I just don't want him to be confused. But I also want him to know that he needs to protect his family. He needs to protect his mom, have respect for his mom and his sisters. So, anyway, that's just some we're trying to get him. And of course, we want him to know all the presidents by the time he's 3 years old. I've seen videos of kids that can do that.
No, you know what? I just want him to play and have fun
Yes.
and learn and
Right.
And be healthy.
And to have lots of fun experiences, And that's one thing that we try to do is for presents and that kind of stuff, instead of giving them toys, is to give them experiences and an emotion of a remembrance of that time. I don't know that too many people can look back 2 years ago. I could probably ask you, do you mind, what was your favorite Christmas present 2 years ago?
I don't know.
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I don't know.
What was your favorite experience 2 years ago?
Well, my favorite recent experience was going to Costa Rica for Christmas.
It's the experiences.
So yeah, we've done a lot of really cool things, and I think even just little things, like we just went to Estes, and again, just being able to spend that one-on-one time with the family without all the distractions, because I know I'm just so guilty about when we're at home and I have laundry to do, or the counters are a mess, or like it makes me crazy, and I can't just stop and be in the moment. And that's one of my goals for the year, is to learn how to stop and be in the moment. So I'm working on it.
And to have a messy house?
No, I can't.
She's not. She vacuums probably 2 or 3 times a day, honestly.
I can't. Well, we have a dog.
Yeah. And a cat now.
And a kid. Kids.
So that brings us to where we are now. So here are 2 aging adults. And, like a lot of relationships, when you first start out, it's fun and exciting, it's new, and you're doing fun stuff. You're going bowling, you're going to movies, going out for dinners.
And before we had
parties.
Carson, when the girls were with their dad, we had that alone time together. And then we had Carson, and
he screwed everything up.
No, he didn't screw anything up. We love him so much. But we really have not been good. I think am not good about leaving the kids. I really struggle with that for whatever reason. So
her career background has been in child protection services, and so she's seen a lot of
but that's not even
kids.
Because we have great friends and family that would take him.
Right, but she's just very connected to the children, which is great. I couldn't ask for something better, to be honest with you. But for her, it's really tough giving over the control of the welfare of our child to somebody else.
That's
not that anything's gonna go wrong. It's just that we're not there. She's not there.
I just feel like I'm abandoning them, and I know that that's not true, because they have a great time with friends and family,
and they love them. They love the kids dearly.
Yeah,
they really do.
So we just need to do a better job, because in the almost 2 years that Carson's been alive, we really haven't done much alone. So I think this next year, 2021, I know one of my goals is to at least have, and I hope it's one of yours too, because I can't do this alone.
Yes.
But it's to at least have one date night a month.
Oh.
That seems doable.
Yeah, that seems kind of a long stretch in between. I would like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
at
we do
least
like
one.
none now, so
That's
I
true.
thought maybe one a month would be a good goal. And if we soar past that goal, that's even better. But
Okay, a minimum of one.
Minimum of one.
Okay, then we can
Minimum
do
of
that.
one.
We'll try for 2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah, I think one's extremely doable. So now we come into what do we do that's a little different instead of just going to a movie, which should still be fun. Going to the park, taking a drive somewhere, going out for dinner. We did that not too long ago. Went to the steak place, and that was fun. We went there and had a great conversation, talked about the kids. But we need that because I know Dixie gets frustrated with the stress of being a working stay-at-home mom. She's got a lot of responsibilities in her career, and then of course a lot of responsibilities with the girls. And it was even magnified even more when the girls were at home, and now she's having to do homeschooling and making sure that the Wi-Fi connection is up and all that. So it was just really tough. That there were a lot of times when she was extremely frustrated at nighttime, and she would say, this seems more like a business partnership than it does a marriage. So that really makes you start thinking, so what can we do? And it doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't.
No.
For us to rekindle that spark or to bring that back to where we're like dating again. So we decided that we would come up with some ideas and...
Yeah. So we scoured the internet for date ideas.
Scoured. At least 10 minutes prior to the podcast.
And came up with a list. So what we decided we're going to do is we're going to give you all a list of date ideas. And then we're each going to pick a date that we're going to take the other one on without them knowing. Mm-hmm. And then we'll report back to you all and let you know, how did that surprise go? Did they like it? Did they not like it?
We might even film some of this.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of fun.
That might be fun. So I know one thing that we've already done that has been a lot of fun, at least for me, is, here we go with the wine again, but the wine tours, that's been a good time.
That's always a good time. Mm-hmm. We were recently, was it last year?
In Palisade, yeah.
Yeah, we went to Palisade. That's on the western slope of Colorado. And Grand Junction Palisade area, they got a lot of wonderful vineyards out there. We stayed at a bed and breakfast vineyard, had a great time. Carson was with us, and the girls were with us for just a short period of time.
Yeah.
So that was a good time.
Yeah.
That was a really good time. So do you have a list that you want to kind of go over?
I do. I know one of them.
Things here too.
So some of these are funny. You start to look at date ideas and I'm like, really? Do people want to do this? Like, one of them is redo a room in your house. Now, while I do want to do that, I have lots of home improvement projects that are on my list. I don't know that I would consider that a date or something that I want to do for fun.
Redo a room?
Yeah. I mean, I do want to redo rooms, but not for a date.
That's more of a job thing, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we would enjoy it.
And notice we're assembling the man cave because I got lots of fun pictures and stuff that I
I'm not sure where you're going to put a man cave.
Oh, there will be a man cave.
Where?
I'll have a man corner.
He can have a corner. Have a sing-along. He could sing to me. He doesn't want me to sing to him. I promise.
No, she sings good. I think you do a good job.
Hit up a farmer's market. We like to do that.
Yeah, we like farmers markets. We particularly with our podcast and with Cast Content Media. There's another aspect of Cast Content Media. It's called
really
local live. Local live. Wow. And what that's going to be about is talking to mom and pop businesses in Greeley, and then we're going to be in Fort Collins and Loveland and other cities. Just go in and talk to them, a little 10-minute little interview. And basically what that is, it's all about just bringing the focus back to local businesses. Keep that money locally. But okay, so farmers markets, we like farmers markets.
Make a personalized scavenger hunt for each other. You can either do it around the house or take it downtown. That might be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun.
Let's see. Some of these are just like go get ice cream. I'm probably not going to do that right now because I'm in the middle of fitness training, so no ice cream for me.
Here's one. Go throw some axes. So there's a lot of businesses, and I think there's one here in our community that just recently opened where you go down and you throw an axe. So it involves finger food, appetizers, and liquor, and extremely
And an
sharp
axe.
axes.
Sounds like a great time.
That was
We should try that one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we don't drink that often.
No.
I'm good with one drink. I'm such a lightweight anymore.
yeah.
But so throwing axes would be kind of fun. Take a pottery class.
I wonder if we can do that around here.
I'm sure we could probably find some. If you know of a place, send us a comment in the comment section. Yeah. So if you know of a pottery, that would be kind of fun. That reminds me of that scene in Ghost with
yes.
Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Yeah, we should probably not do that in a public place.
Well, you can have your. Oh, that's right, because you have to have your shirt on.
Yeah.
But my arms can go around you.
Oh, my Lanta. I mean,
We're filming. So a pottery class would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Go on a boat cruise. No, excuse me. Go on a booze cruise. I mean, that one, but kind of bar hopping type of a thing. I mean, I guess that'd be okay, but I'm just a one drink guy, really.
yeah.
I can't drink
We
too
would
much
lose
anymore.
money on a booze cruise.
That wouldn't be fun. We'd be going and we could do appetizers at bars, I guess, maybe. But then we'd be extra heavy. Pack a picnic lunch together.
We've done that before.
And that was fun. That
It was fun.
That was a good time. Where'd we go?
Estes to the lake.
Very good.
See, I remember some stuff.
You can go to a bar that has trivia night. That would be kind of fun. I'm not as good as, I got some friends that are really good at trivia. If we were going to go, I'd have to take them. Otherwise, we'd have no chance.
You know, Morgan and Lauren are pretty good at trivia.
Yeah, my daughters would be really good at trivia.
They're good.
Here's a fun one. How about taking a cooking class?
That might be fun.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah. How about take a dance class together?
You know, we've talked about that. We want to do competitive ballroom dancing.
I'll think you're serious and I'll do it.
Go window shopping.
Shopping?
Shopping. Go window shopping. That's kind of fun. Problem is some of the windows I like to look in, I can't afford any of it.
Yeah.
So then it's no fun. Then it becomes extremely... try a bookstore with a cute coffee shop.
Do they even exist anymore?
I don't think so.
I used to love that. We used to have a little bookstore downtown with a little coffee shop in it, and they closed.
Those are those are kind of by the wayside. Go to an art gallery or museum exhibit. You know, we bought the
Like an annual pass to the
annual pass
Denver Museum,
Museum of Natural History.
and we went once.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where you know when you go down once, you spend like the whole day there. You've seen everything.
Yeah, you're good
So
to go.
unless they have a special deal, you still got to pack everybody up, go down there, and find a parking spot. I'm not saying.
But this would be a date, so we wouldn't be packing anybody but ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that would I don't know. It depends on what the exhibit is. I mean, if
Yeah.
it was like looking at old King Tut bones or something, that would be kind of cool. Maybe I
Yeah.
suppose.
How about go on a hike? We like to do that.
Yeah, we do like to go to hikes, and we also like to bring the kids. But we could do one just the two, just you and me. That'd be kind of fun. Go to a bar with live music. That'd be
Yep,
kind of fun.
we like that.
Yeah, we like live music.
Now that we maybe can do that again.
How about this one? Do the lamest, most touristy thing in your area that neither one of you have done yet.
So maybe this would be great for our listeners to let us know what is the most touristy thing that we can do in Greeley, Colorado.
Or in Fort Collins or Loveland or Denver.
Yeah.
We got...
Just in this area, like what northern Colorado, yeah, even down to Denver. What's the most touristy thing that we could do?
lead a tour of your favorite neighborhood.
And we do like to go house shopping, I guess.
Yeah.
We like to look at houses.
I think we look at the houses, but I think a lot of it is the landscaping is what we like to do. And then I had one. Do you have any more?
I mean, there's one like go play pool, which could be fun. Start training for a race together. Would you do that?
Well, she's in the process of training for a fitness competition. We need to start logging that as well. That's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I just bought a juicer, so
Oh, you know what? This is something that we've done before. I don't think you would do with me again. Remember when we went to hot yoga together?
yeah, that was it was too hot.
I don't think he enjoyed it very
You're in a
much.
little room and they got these heaters going on and everybody's sweating, so you strip down to nothing. And there's always that one guy that's close by who breathes a lot and he's super sweaty.
And
so,
wears a little, what do you call them? The little man thongs?
Speedo.
Yeah.
And it was, but you know, inside that air is little droplets of his sweat and his breath. So the whole time I knew I was getting herpes or something. It wasn't fun. I didn't like it. Here's one that I thought would be kind of fun. Stand on a street corner, beg for money, and donate the proceeds to a nonprofit.
I don't know if I could do it.
I can get in one of my Elvis outfits, stand there and say, donations go to the Boys and Girls Club or the Food Bank or the Resource Center or
Genesis Project?
Genesis Project,
Yeah.
one of those. Would you do that?
Maybe. I don't know about for a date, but I would
Oh,
maybe
that's
do
right.
that
I guess
for...
that's not very date-ish. So
I'd maybe do that for a nonprofit.
anyway, so I'm going to pick one, and then she's going to pick one.
Yeah, and if you have any great ideas, please send them our way.
Yeah, because we're going to be picking soon.
Yeah.
And
And maybe
then-
there'll even be a prize for whose ever idea we choose.
I don't know exactly what we have to give. We do have these cups. If you want one, they're only $10. And then whatever shipping is, a couple bucks, I suppose. But these are kind of cool. I have them in black, and then I have blue ones. They're really cool. But they say Dixie and the King on them, kind of cool. And I also have we got golf balls. So
that's
we can
right.
get
I
a sleeve
saw
of golf balls to you. That say
Oh, that's
Dixie and the
another
King.
date. We could go to the driving
That's
range.
right. Yeah, driving range. But she's a pretty good natural athlete that we might, after hitting the golf range a couple times, maybe we can go on a golf date.
Yeah, I've
Golf
never
date.
actually played a game of golf before.
So we can do all that kind of fun stuff. Well, we're going to pick one of those. We're going to do it, and maybe we'll film it. That'd be kind of fun. We should film it. So what we'll do, it may not be the next couple podcasts down the road, but we'll do one where it combines the date that I picked and the date that she picked, and then we'll report back, and we'll just have a lot of fun. And then we can talk about, did it bring back the spark back into our marriage? Are we just are we a business couple? Or are we a loving, lovely dove couple?
I do not think we're a business couple. I just merely mentioned that in moments it can feel that
She
way.
was frustrated, I'll tell you.
Well,
And it's totally understandable.
there were
Totally
days, yes, when I'm trying to work a full-time job and I have two different school grades that
Have you
I'm
ever-
trying to teach and a toddler I'm chasing, trying to keep quiet while kids are in Zoom meetings and needing help. And
She gets like 3 kisses. Once in
Yeah.
the morning, once when I come home in the afternoon, and then once at night before we go to bed. So she needs to be, like all of us, we need that human touch.
Yeah.
And I think some health expert person was saying that the human being needs a minimum of 4 hugs a day. So
I believe
I already
it.
gave you one. We were doing the pottery scene.
Oh, so now is there going to be like a checklist? Like, okay, you got 4, you're good. You're done.
I think so.
Oh,
If you're extra good, then we need to get a 5th.
wow.
Anyway, but that goes 2 ways too. Sometimes
True.
it's nice. Sometimes as a man, and this is a whole nother podcast, why do we have to start the romance? Why can't they start the romance?
Because we're still putting kids to
No, I
bed.
hear it all the time. You don't love me anymore. I said, well, you're always this. She goes, no, I was in the mood the other night. And I go, when? She goes, when my foot touched yours. It's like, I might need a little more than that.
That conversation never happened, by the way.
But it's something similar to that. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, this was a fun podcast. I hope you folks enjoyed it. And please visit us. Oh, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're
I
good.
just want to make sure, because I don't want to get the talking to afterwards. Oh, you completely forgot this part. So I didn't forget anything?
No, you're good.
So
He acts like he's really afraid of me. Maybe I have him where I want him.
don't ever let them know that they got you where you want them. Or they got you where you want. They have you where they want you. Is that right? Doesn't matter. Anyway, you've been listening to or watching Dixie and the King, and you can find us on YouTube and where else?
On all your favorite podcast platforms. We're on Rumble, and you can find us on our website, dixieandtheking.com.
And of course, we want to thank Cast Content Media. If you go there, you'll find out what they do. They can help you with your podcast. You want to do something similar? You want to host You want to be an influencer? You want to do a cooking show? Speaking of which, we're going to have an amazing podcast at some point in time with a restaurant.
Yeah, with a local restaurant owner who is going to, because I was chatting with this young lady and just telling her, man, I get so stuck on what to cook and I feel like I cook the same things and it's boring. And so she's going to help me out. We're going to actually cook in her home kitchen, and she's going to show me a couple of quick, easy, healthy, but exciting and kid-friendly meals.
Really excited.
So
for
I'm
that
really
one.
excited, yeah.
We might be doing 2 podcasts a week. Could you imagine?
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
I need to add some hours to my day.
We're also on Facebook as well.
Oh
Dixie
yeah,
and the King.
and Instagram.
Instagram. So,
Yes.
all said, all done?
All done.
Alrighty. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. If you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. That really helps us out. All right? So until next time, God bless.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Dixie and the King. We know there are possibly millions of podcasts out there, and we really appreciate you landing on ours.
We'd love to hear back from you with suggestions, episode ideas, and possible guests. If you'd like to connect to our guests, we would love to share their contact info with you.
Feel free to tell a friend and share our podcast with them.
To learn more and watch past podcasts, please visit our website, dixieandtheking.com.